Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Whew. I'm Sheldon Barlett Rumor, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. This Is It Network is your global digital TV network connecting remarkable women to inspiring stories. I do that each and every day through our growing community, our engaging content, and the real connections in which we provide. I have had a crazy March was nuts. March was nuts. We're sitting in what even is today? I don't even know what today is. We're sitting in April 7th. Is that what it is? April 7th. And I'm coming up for air and I'm letting you know and I'm admitting it that I'm tired. And I think that for so long, so many of us are like, I got it. I'm fine. I'm not saying that I'm not fine, but I'm not saying that I'm not tired because I am fatigued. I am exhausted. And I don't know if any of you out there are like living in that space. I got a number of deadlines coming up, a number of things that I got to do. And I'm feeling it. And oftentimes I don't allow myself to admit it. I don't allow myself to admit that I'm tired. I don't allow myself to admit that I can't, right, in this moment, in this time. And what I end up doing when I deny that, when I end up doing when I don't recognize that I'm tired, when I don't recognize that I'm spread a little too thin, when I don't recognize that I'm fatigued, when I don't recognize these things, I often find myself going to the limit and then not being able to do anything. And so what I'm saying today in this moment is that I am admitting, and I encourage all of you to admit when you are tapping out. And that's not meaning that I'm done. I'm just acknowledging the fact that I am tired in this moment. And that doesn't mean that I'm stopping anything that I'm doing. That doesn't mean that I'm stopping to grow, stopping to build, stopping to connect, any of the things. But I've got to acknowledge that I need to sit down for a little bit. I got to acknowledge that I need to regroup. I got to acknowledge that I need to look at what it is that I've created, what it is that I've done in order to, with clarity, move forward. So I think we all have to admit it. You have to admit when you're in a space where you're seeing it. And this is a beautiful thing because that means that all of the work that I did, all of the busyness that I did in March, I am reaping the benefits. I have the ability to reap the benefits of all of that. I have the ability to look at it, to map it out, to test it out, to see. I have the ability to do all of that, right? Only if I admit it, only if I give myself the opportunity to look at it, only if I take the moment and be like, okay, what have you created? What have you done? What was all that running around that's gotten you all tired in this moment? What was that? And because I recognize it, because I'm clear on it, because I can say, oh my goodness, all that running around wasn't for anything, I'm going to admit that I need to be able to focus this, that I don't necessarily have it all together, that I need to find additional human beings to be able to help me. I have some wonderful meetings this week with some key folks that I'm looking to bring on to the team to help me with membership and our Screamer communication and all of this stuff that I've acknowledged within admitting that I truly, truly need more help, right? And I think that there is a moment in which for a lot of entrepreneurs, we want to take it on, or we feel we have to take on everything on our own. And believe me, I've done that for a long time, and I'm here to tell the tale. So I'm not saying that I am, regretful of everything that I've done. I'm saying that I can acknowledge, I can admit when I need some additional help, and this is the moment. This is the moment that I need some support or to find designated people. And believe me, people have said it. And those of you that are watching are like, I told you did 3 months ago, right? And you can say, I told you so, because that's true. You did tell me. You told me, hey, Chell, you're building this faster. You're doing this bigger than you have done it in the past, and you're going to need help. And so there was a very much this space where I was like, you know what? I got it. You know what? I don't need help. Not yet, not yet, not yet. Until I have all my ducks in a row, until I have all of the stars align and the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, can I bring people on to help me? Because again, I've been there before and it hasn't necessarily always worked out. So for me, for now, to admit that it is time, to admit that I'm clear on what it is that I need to do. I've never been clear on who it is that I need to be able to support me. I've never been clear on what it is that the platform is, what it is that we're doing, how it is that we're doing it. I'm spoiled by the amount of people who are paying attention and the amount of people who continuously log into these morning messages. Good morning, Candy. Happy Thursday. But I have to admit it to myself. Okay, Chell, this is not a one-man band. This is not a situation where you're going to be able to carry all of this by yourself. You're not, for everything that you've dreamt up, for everything that you want for this to be, you have to be able to acknowledge, you have to be able to admit that this is the time that you need to have some true adjustment. The pivoting needs to happen. The growth strategy, the scalability, whatever jargon we tend to use when in business needs to happen right now. That's the space that we're currently in. I was able to engage an individual for outreach. I was able to focus on an individual for social media. Like, that's the time. This is the time. I'm in a growth space, and I'm admitting that I'm in that growth space. What do you all have to admit? What do we have to look into the mirror and be like, I need help? Look into the mirror and be like, that's not working. Look into the mirror and be like, this partnership is no good. Look into the mirror and be like, this client needs to go. What do we have to admit in this time? Because a lot of you are doing a lot of pretending and a lot of saying that you're fine, when you in fact are not fine, and things need to be admitted. You need to admit that things aren't necessarily working out the way in which you had intended, the way in which you had planned. And that doesn't mean that everything needs to be thrown out. That doesn't mean that you don't know anything about anything. That just means that in this moment, you tested it out and it isn't boding fruitful. So we need to figure out what that looks like. We need to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to nurture what it is that we've got going on. For us, it's how do I get some more additional support and help in areas in which we need it? If I want to continue to travel around and meet women all over this globe, then I'm going to need some fundamental administrative help, right? I have to admit that. And so what are the things in your space that you have to admit? What are the things in your world that you have to come to terms with? What are those things? What does that feel like? Because we are moving so quickly and we rarely get an opportunity to sit down and say, okay, what am I actually doing? What do I actually need? How bad is it, right? And oftentimes we move so quickly so we don't have to address it, so we don't have to admit it. And so for me, I really want to be able to have clarity in this phase, in this journey, in this season of what This Is It Network is. And because I need that clarity, because I need to be able to ensure that I'm moving in a way that I have never moved before, I have to admit a lot of things. And that means I've got to be honest with myself. That means that I've got to look myself in the mirror and be like, I am not good at that. I could have done better in this way. I need help in this area. And that's a lot of coming to Sheldon. That's a lot of like sitting with myself and being real with myself and admitting it and even saying it out loud and admitting it to all of you. And that's the season that I am in. I don't know if you guys are in this season too. I don't know if this is even helping you. Sure as heck is helping me because I got to admit a lot of things. I've got to admit that I know what I know, but I sure as heck don't know what I don't know. And I've got to surround myself. And this is the time to surround myself with the right people. This is the time that I have to admit that these are the things that I need to get done. And it's an exciting time. And it's an ability for us to really work together on so many different angles. And for me to find people to collaborate with and work with and bring on board. It's an exciting time. It doesn't mean that I'm not capable. It just means that I am, in fact, ready to be capable for more. So if you guys are challenging yourselves with your trying and your ability to do it all, and you're looking at yourself and be like, I can't, it is not because it is a failure on your part. It's because you are ready for something bigger. You are admitting that what you have wished for is coming true, and that now you must admit it is time to bring other people on. It is time to have different conversations. It is time to move forward in a beautiful way. I've got a lot that I got to admit and come to terms with. I'm wondering if any of you have the same. And if you do, I'm here for you each and every day. We're doing our best to get ourselves back into the rhythm of our morning message. So many events, so many opportunities, so much traveling. It has been crazy, which has in result created an inconsistency in the way in which I see you each and every day. So for that, I apologize. And I am so grateful that you join me when you can. I do this Monday through Friday, schedule permitted, at about 11 o'clock Eastern each and every day, in hopes of encouraging all of you to find your voice. for you to tell your story, for you to no longer whisper your wishes. It's time for all of you to scream your dream. My goal, my hope is for all of you to find the voice that you need to admit when you are right and celebrate it, and also admit when you are wrong and take action in order to change your life into the right direction. If you need me for anything, definitely let me know. So many amazing recaps are coming your way, not only from our Meet the Experts, but from our conversations with Commons. We had such an opportunity last evening to meet, connect, and answer questions about this new and exciting product. I'm going to make sure you have that video recap for you to dive on into as well. If you need me for anything, all of the links can be found within the post. I will be back tomorrow with another morning message. Again, encouraging all of you to scream your dream. See you soon. Bye-bye.